Hey everyone! In today's video, I wanted to do a little review of the Cinema Cult label. I wanted to do this because when I was looking at buying a few movies from their label, I looked on Google and like right at the top there was like bad reviews from people saying it looks like DVD quality and all that kind of stuff. And it put me off buying them for a few weeks. And I eventually went out and bought some, and the quality was so good, I went out and bought a stack more. So that's why I wanted to do this little review, and it's more of my opinion than a review, and the reason I say that is because I don't know much about the technical side of things when it comes to picture and sound. All I can do is give you my opinion on what I saw. Hopefully, like next year, I'm actually going to uni, so hopefully we will learn a lot more about picture and sound, and especially color grading. That's one big thing I want to learn. Because there's only so much you can do online. Like there's heaps of tutorial videos out there, but having a teacher in front of you that has years of experience, that you can actually bounce questions off and, show them something you've done and get their critique. I mean, that's just going to be so valuable for me. So hopefully next year I will learn quite a bit more, and my reviews, my opinions, will become a little more educated, I guess. So yes, in this video I will be reviewing 3 movies that I have recently watched from the Cinema Cult label. So yes, the first label is Starman. This one here surprised the hell out of me. Like when I showed this in a previous video, I mentioned that I recognize this dude here by face, not by name, and yeah, his name is Jeff Bridges. So yeah, like I know this dude as like an older dude. Like he still looks like Jeff Bridges, but I know him as the older Jeff Bridges. He looks so young in this. And I don't know, this is a fantastic film. The picture quality in this is absolutely amazing. When was this made? 1984. 1984 this was made. And some of the effects in this are just brilliant. I will say the green screen in this is kind of shitty. But it's a 1984 movie. I mean, that sort of stuff was still in its infancy, so yeah, you can't really, you gotta give it some slack for that. And it is still pretty good. Like it doesn't take anything away from the film. There's a few jokes in this. There's like a traffic light joke which just had me laughing for like 5 minutes, and Jeff Bridges in this, I think he is amazing. It says in the back here he was nominated for Best Actor in a Leading Role, so he was nominated for that Oscar. It doesn't say he won it, so I'm guessing he didn't. But yeah, it's certainly such a different film. Like the way he's acting and the way he's moving, such a different film to what I've ever seen him in. And the other person in this, Karen Allen, she was also fantastic in this. Yeah, so this was one of those ones that I just picked up on a whim and thought, you know what, I recognize the dude's face, I'll give it a go. And I'm glad I did. It's really, like, this has happened a few times with this label. Like, all the films I've bought so far from this label, I've enjoyed them all. The picture's been great, the sound's been great. So I'm going to have to really start venturing out of my comfort zone when it comes to choosing movies. So Starman, if you haven't seen it, I do recommend this one. It is fantastic. The next one is Darkman. This one really surprised me because Liam Neeson actually stars in this one. I didn't look at the back of this when I bought it. I just, bought it because it looked pretty cool. And it has Liam Neeson in it, and I was just like, holy crap, Liam Neeson. And so when was this made? 1990. So I don't know whether he was early in his career or something. I don't know. But yeah, he did it fantastic. Certainly a different role, and the makeup effects in this was just fantastic. If you can think of The Dark Knight, Two-Face in that one, that's the level of well, not quite the level. They didn't have a lot of the depth, but like the exterior was at that sort of level. It was that sort of realism, and I just thought that was amazing. Like the whole time I was thinking, like I need to figure out who the makeup artist who did that is. So I'm gonna flash their name down here somewhere because it is just fantastic. The makeup wasn't cheesy or anything. It looked like a really fucked up guy. You know what I mean? So yeah, the picture quality was fantastic. The sound quality, fantastic, and yeah, just another brilliant film that I had no idea existed. And yeah, so I've got number 2. Really excited to watch number 2 now, and I will definitely be getting number 3. So yes, Cinema Cult certainly holding up at this point. All the films I've got, fantastic, and it tells me that they really choose their movies carefully, because all the films that I've bought so far, even like ones like this and Starman that I haven't heard of, they've all been brilliant films. So they're choosing their films quite nicely. Last one is Sudden Death. This one here, absolutely loved it. It's certainly a different role for Van Damme. He plays a father to two kids, and he's an ex-fireman. I'm not sure if there was a backstory of him being in the service, like the military or something. Because they were having a look at his record, and they were really vague. It was really vague about his background, but he could disarm bombs, and he was able to defend himself quite well against who I presume to be seasoned, military people. So yeah, he knew how to fight. So it was a different role for him, because he got his ass kicked a lot more than he usually would in films, and I really liked that. It really showed a different side to him, a more vulnerable side, that he's still human, and I don't know, I just really like that. I mean, it's good to see those like action films where he's just kicking ass, but from time to time, a movie like this is great, where you just see him in a more realistic situation where he's up against somebody else who can handle themselves as well. And yeah, he gets his ass handed to him quite a bit as well. But he comes out on top, and yeah, just excellent picture in this one. Some of the exterior shots in this are just fantastic. Like, I don't know what it is about late 80s, early 90s aerial shots and exterior shots, but there's just a certain look to them. I don't know whether it's the film or the grading they do, but it's, oh god, it's just, I feel almost nostalgic about it, which is kind of weird, because I wasn't born in the 80s and I was too young to remember the early 90s, but I can't help but feel a little nostalgic every time I see those scenes in these older films. And this has a few of those scenes in it. Really beautiful aerial shots of the city. At the start, when he picks up his kids, you can see the skyline of the city in the background, and just really well set up shots. So I was really impressed with a lot of the time that I'd taken to consider the backdrop and the exterior shots that they did. So yeah, the picture was beautiful, and the sound in this really surprised me, because quite often with action movies, the dialogue is so quiet, so I have to turn it right up, and then you get this big action scene, shooting, explosions, and I'll be frantically going for the remote to turn it down. And I didn't have to do that with this film. I just turned it up to a comfortable level. Audio was clear, the dialogue was clear, the action scenes weren't too loud. I didn't have my neighbors banging on the wall saying, "Turn that down." Fuck you. Anyway, yeah, just a brilliant film, and I think it's yeah, well worth a watch if you haven't seen this one. Yeah, sounds great, picture quality is great. The one thing that does let this film down, I think, is the ending scene where you get the helicopter there that goes through the roof of this. Doesn't really go through the roof, it goes through a gap in the roof. That scene looked fake as hell. It was so cheesy. I was sitting there going, really? This is where you're leaving me? You're leaving me with this shit scene? I mean, it must have cost a lot of money to set that scene up for them to go, you know what? That looks fantastic. Let's keep it in the film. Let's not do it again. But yeah, if this was my film, I would not be putting that in there. I would have been like, you know what? Let's just figure it out. Let's do this again, because that looks like shit. But other than that, great film. Absolutely loved it. Anyway, I'm gonna leave this video here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this really? Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I certainly enjoyed reviewing this. It's really refreshing to sort of unload, get all your thoughts about films off, even if it's just to the camera and eventually YouTube. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. I might do this, from time to time when I have a couple of movies that I want to review. So yeah, I'm gonna leave this video here. Until next time, ciao for now.